also on stage in the ESL Nordic Nationals. But they had Holst and Barry with them. Now it is Crystal and Venton, former Team Acer players. You might know Crystal from his previous performances in other iterations of this game. 1.6 for example. Now alternate on the CT side and no problem start off on the T side. Cadian takes the job of being the support player, and at the same time he's covering A main against some possible aggression by aTTaX. But as you can see, Keith and Crispy already get into position, and Keith will pick off Cadian, already intercepting that A go by the terrorists with the first frag. And now it's no problem in some problems. They have to cover themselves. And there is one more. Keith is still there. Now he retreats to stay alive, and he retreats into the A-bomb site. No problem, finally got some map control, but Crispy has Glaze covered from Speedway. Good job by him. Now he catches a bullet to the head, needs to watch out to not go down. 3 terrorists are still quite dangerous on this map. They could at least plant the bomb, but the CT's coming with the pre-fire. And no problem is slowed down again. Now they only have one more smoke and one Molotov. The Danes, with the 2 Swedes amongst them, have to watch out to not run into some timing problems. 40 seconds on the clock and they are on the rotation to B. The CTs have Stefan covering that already, and Crispy is quite close to his teammate while Tizian already spots into A main. This could be the key play here. No problem will probably be expected on the B bomb side. The 2 players covering there will be reduced to only 1, but there was Crispy with a low amount of HP. He couldn't put up that much resistance. No problem will get the bomb plant. Or will they? Yes, they will. 13 seconds, not a big of a problem. Lamy puts it down. The 3 CTs wait for each other. Now they come into the bomb site. Through the smoke they go. Lamy goes down to Tizian's headshot. And Alternate is already defusing the bomb or faking it. Now Wenton goes to work onto Tizian. Makes it a 2v2 again. The terrorist still on the doorstep of the B-bomb site. Keith tries to cover his teammate with 2 headshots. He wins the round for aTTaX while Stefan was on the defuse. And the Germans come out on top of this first exchange. But no problem, showed some promise here. They kept their cool, even though they were attacked quite early by the CTs. And they not only kept their cool, but also came up with some good mid-round calling. That, you know, they were lining up that A execution at first. Then they suffered the first defeat. Cadian already was down. And they didn't panic too much. They fell back, they covered themselves and each other, all in that area, and then they gave the CTs some more time to split each other up into 2 teams, 2 at A and 2 at B, and then they went for the B-bomb site for their final attempt. Sadly for them, aTTaX was able to rotate quite quickly, and the entry frags made it quite hard for no problem to get back on track. So the Danes, with only a few upgraded pistols, considering they planted a bomb in the first round, that's a reasonable choice to make. And big shout out to NATO Safix here, making me smile big time. aTTaX on the other side with 4 FAMASes, so they didn't go all the way. They rather have helmets and some grenades to work with, except for Keith, who only has a UMP. So the main attack will happen on the A bomb side. Kazuya is over there. He's still smoked off. The terrorists make their way into the bomb site. He still gets that frag onto Lamy, even though he was quite far away with his crosshair. Sometimes recoil works in your favor. Good job by Wenton picking off Crispy and Speedway. Kazuya having some big trouble here. Doesn't pick up the frag. The bomb is at least planted. And that's all the terrorists were able to achieve. The CTs only suffer 1 loss. And the FAMAS should be picked up by Keith when he's finished defusing the bomb. Well, wow, that was a little messy. His teammates could have used all the time. They had 10 seconds to pick up the FAMAS and drop it close to him. But only a minor mistake. Maybe it could have some butterfly effect and spiral out of control if Crispy goes down to one of the AKs in the hands of the terrorists. No problem. Take it slow. They go for the default, and Cadian will get the first frag onto Crispy. That is the UMP taken out. So 3 Thermoses and the orb remain. And Tizian takes a big chance, goes for the frag in middle, and gets away with his life. That shouldn't have happened. 6 HP though. He's on the brink of dying. Almost dying on his own, while Keith, through the edge of the smoke, is able to get rid of Glaze on the B bomb side. And no problem. Lose those first exchanges. They can't work with that first kill that Cadian came up with. aTTaX doing a good job of clawing their way back into the round. Lomi, Wenton and Crystal on the A-bomb side. Kazuya is still around. He got himself behind that forklift, and that's a cheeky position. I don't think the terrorists will check that. They Molotoved it away, and they didn't consider any CT to be, you know, in hyphen stupid enough to walk into the flames to get into that position. 2v3 now, make that a 1v3 with Lomi on 20 HP. He's pushed by Keith. And aTTaX don't give no problem anything to work with at this stage of the game. Good job by the Germans to hold on to their economy as well. Not losing too many men. That's something that sometimes, you know, some people don't emphasize that enough, but keeping your man alive on the CT side is really crucial, especially in the later stages of the half. And Alternate is doing a good job of achieving that goal. Now Glaze is racing down into middle. He gets minorly tagged by a nade, only loses 4 HP. That's CSGO for you. I think even the pressure by the explosion should have at least blinded him for a second, you know. In real life, he would have probably lost all his ability to hear. But we are in CSGO, so that doesn't happen. Luckily, the players won't be deaf after any G grenade. Now Keith and Tizian will pick off the frags in middle. Easy going for aTTaX. No problem for them. All the terrorists were in that area, and a good timing by the CTs allowed them to pick up the frags left and right. So the Danes have their second chance to make something happen here, and let's see if Cadian can have his impact with the orb. All the pressure on his shoulders. He stays away from the boost spot for now. Incendiary nade will keep him from getting control of middle. Tizian and Crispy already around. But, oh, that was a miss that maybe if he had hit that shot, it could have triggered a quick execution onto A and middle. But no problem, still have enough time. They can go for some other attempt. For now, they go for another default. And the CT spread out quite far. Let's see if Glaze can do something about it. For now, he's still smoked off. And last time, his counterpart, Keith, got the better of him on the B-bomb side. And Keith is around the B-bomb side again. So Glaze is wise to rotate into middle. But what a great flash for Crispy. But he goes down to Cadian. Oh! Wow, that was Cadian just being so quick. No chance for Crispy to reply on that one. 4v4 now. The terrorists make their way into the A-bomb side, but they are a little bit too slow in that. aTTaX already able to rotate all the 4 players into the side. 30 seconds on the clock. Likelihood of another rotation by the Danes is almost 0. And now they have to commit to the side. They get another frag thanks to Cadian. Close quarter shot onto Keith, but Stefan and Kazuya answer. And there is Kazuya again from the back of the bomb site. Crystal with 14 seconds on the clock. He's desperate to get the frag in the back, but he doesn't. And now it's Tizian helping his teammate out, being the meat shield, guarding the bomb site. Crystal goes for the desperation plant. He does pick up that plant, but not the frag. Kazuya with the triple kill, and aTTaX up 4-0. 5-0. So no problem getting that bonus money due to losing consecutive rounds, and the bomb plant will help them to get another weapon round up. The CT's money is not too strong, so if no problem win one round, they would probably face some kind of a force buy by aTTaX, depending on how many weapons they save. And if they win another one, the CTs would be on a save. So, you know how important those rounds will be for No Problem before the terrorists, or the CTs rather, inch away with the finances. The terrorists need to do some more damage. At least bring it down to 1v1. Good job by Wenton opening up onto Kiev, getting rid of the AWP. And aTTaX is forcing that rotation. Crispy is really quick. He's in the vents already while Stefan is slowing down the terrorist attempt. Venting goes down, so is Crystal to Tizian. Lomi and Glaze answer back. They draw it back to a 2v2, but it's again Tizian with the double kill. Lomi is running for his life, and he's running for the A-bomb site. He wants to get the bomb plant at least, and the best chances for him are definitely on the A-bomb side. Kazuya is still not rotating. That will allow Lomi to even check the bomb site in case there would be another CT hanging around. He would have spotted him by now. And he will plant the bomb, and he will also get away from the bomb plant if he chooses to do so. And that makes it quite hard for the CTs to find his whereabouts. Now they come in, and he makes it a 1v1 with a great headshot onto Kazuya. He knows where Tizian is coming from, and those are maybe two of the stronger players of the two teams going head to head. Lomi will pick it up with a triple kill and a 1v2 clutch situation. Great job by Lomi, getting the first round on the board for No Problem. That was just heads-up play by him. He realized his team was so committed to the B-bombs that the CTs probably rotated all the players over there, and then he just legged it to the A-bomb side, went for the plant, and then made it two separate 1v1s with good choosing of his angles. The CTs still up with the AWP, but they lack head armor. Not that big of a problem for them. But it might be if one of the terrorists runs out of ammunition on his primary weapon. Or even if the Galils go to work. Those headshots of the Galil usually don't kill you straight away, but now they could. On the CT side, obviously. Keith is still looking for some information on B while the terrorists are taking their time. This time around it's not necessarily a complete default. They are definitely focused on middle control. And Keith is still looking for some kind of information. Nobody gives him anything. Glaze is playing it very well on the B-bomb side, not giving away his position and just playing with the mind of Keith. There he goes, and there he goes down. Glaze with the opening frag on the B-bomb side. He's eager to get some more control over there. He smokes off CT spawn. And now the CTs have to react to that play. While the terrorists make their way into middle, they could potentially go for the A-bomb side. And aTTaX will think of that possibility too. No problem going back into middle. Now they lost a lot of time doing that. They keep Cadian inside, so the CTs are still occupied with the B-bomb side while the rest of the squad is pushing through to the truck area. Christian with the Galil. He picks up the headshot onto Kazuya, and now he intercepts the CTs on a rotation. He goes down though to Tizian, who is stepping up again for the Germans. But before Cadian pulls the trigger, Glaze is able to remove Crispy from the lineup of the CTs, leaving it at a 2v4. No problem with the bomb ticking down. They're looking for their second round on the board, and they will probably pick it up as well. Tizian and Stefan are already running away. And that is very important for the Germans to keep their weapons. Sadly, Tizian went down already. Glaze having a really good time in this round, getting the opening frag as well as the second and the fourth frag in the round. No problem with the 2-5, and now the CTs run into some financial problems. They have to save, and that's when the Danes pick up the rounds, and that's when it gets dangerous for the CTs. Good team effort by No Problem so far. 5 for Lomi and Venton, 4 for Cadian and Glaze. On the other side we have 9 and 8 for the rest of the CTs, Keith and Tizian, the top fraggers. And again it's Glaze working from Toxic while his teammates are occupied with the rest. And Tizian got the frag. Tizian with the second. How did the terrorists give that away? I mean, usually you want to intercept the CT if somebody pushed into Squeaky. You want to intercept him on his way back into the side by peeking from middle or from A main. And this time around, Tizian turned it upside down and got the frag on the guy that wanted to intercept him. Now the CT's got an AWP and an AK, and they could think about saving it, but most likely they want to contest this round. Tizian gets burned a little bit by the flames. Crispy is holding his horses in vents. Now he gives away his position while Tizian hoses down Lomi through the smoke. Luck shot by Tizian, but sometimes you just have to close your eyes, pull the trigger and pray to the lords of CSGO. Thorin amongst them to guide your bullets and get you the magic headshot. That's what happened for Tizian. Glaze and Crystal still standing, but Crispy came in from behind, surprising Glaze, leaving Crystal on the bomb platform. He's up against 3 CTs. He puts down the first, but Tizian with a quad kill in the save round, making it 6-2 again. And the Germans are right back on track. They found their balance again after they stumbled. And no problem have enough money to come up with another buy. Crystal has to figure out what to do with his 3k. Probably going for the Tech 9 and the armor. There it is. Cadian should... Oh, he dropped for Crystal. Now what is... Cadian is picking up the Tech 9. So he sacrifices himself for the team, for the sake of his teammates. Wenton will take point, but goes down to Kazuya already. No resistance by the terrorists so far, but now it's Lomi and Crystal with the kills to make it a 4v3. And the CTs are, this time around, they are a little bit too slow on the rotation. The A rush was quite successful for the Danes. But we are yet to see the retake by Alternate. Good patience by the CTs. They get themselves into position first and then execute their retake together. Cadian with the Tech 9 kill onto Stefan, and Glaze uses a flash at his teammate through him to get the kill onto Tizian, leaving Kiev alone. And even though he's one of the strongest AWP players in Germany at the moment, he will not try this anymore. He will try to save his gun. And he's already cornered in. There is no way out except for through the enemies. But he will go down to Lomi's headshot and no problem. Will get back again. So it is a quick trade of rounds. And that favors the terrorists. Resetting the CT's money, leaving them in shambles. Kazuya decided to go for armor, but that's just because he had around 4k, I believe he had, yeah, something around 4.3, and Keith is saving for an AWP in the upcoming round. So no problem with a seemingly easy round, but we have seen what Tizian and company can come up with if they get the chances to. Deagle for Kiev and Tizian, and they are quite dangerous with that gun. So no problem has to... In my opinion, they have to stick together against those aim-strong players. You need to be able to pick up refrags, otherwise the Deagle can surprise you on one end of the map, then it will surprise you on the other end of the map, and suddenly it's a 5v3, they will pick up guns, and it will be the same that we already saw all over again. Oh, now Keith gets out of the position, even though he lost the majority of his HP. The terrorists are yet to pick up the first frag, while Crystal is doing that. Tizian comes up with that headshot with the Deagle onto Wenton. Glaze on the other side of the map will open up onto Stefan, and the terrorists are quick to capitalize on that. The CTs will have no vision on the B bomb side. That allows Lomi to cross. Oh, Tizian! Headshot onto Lomi while he was crossing. The bomb is dropped. And Tizian is looking for another one. He's randomly spraying through the smoke with the Deagle as quick as he can. Doesn't connect though. Kiev picked up the AK, and that's what I mentioned. Those rounds can quickly spiral out of control if the terrorists give the CT something to work with. Kazuya still has a 5-7 with armor. Definitely dangerous for the terrorists. aTTaX with another frag. Kazuya comes up onto Glaze. Makes it a 1v2. Crystal has to save the round for the terrorists. Kazuya is on the bomb defuse while aTTaX is covering him. The flash guarded him for a second, but Crystal comes alive and goes away with his life as well. aTTaX couldn't spray him down on the first attempt, and Crystal stays and keeps aTTaX from defusing the bomb. It will blow up, but aTTaX with a very good performance in another eco round. They brought no problem on to the brink of defeat. And that will definitely make the Danes struggle a little bit financially and considering their mindset. 2 players down to 100 and 0. So cadiaN and Wenton wouldn't be able to buy up if they lose this round. Now aggressive play by aTTaX in A main. Not too much action so far. No problem, focuses on middle. They already sent Wenton in there. And he's got no one to fight against. Middle is completely left open for the terrorists to take. And that makes the B bomb site quite vulnerable for an attack from Checkered and from B main. Oh, Kazuya just spotted the glimpse of cadiaN behind the sandbags. Unfortunate angle for the Dane to hold in that situation. But his teammates are still on the B bomb site, and now they know that there's somebody in middle. They suffer another loss. Glaze with a reply onto Stefan, making it a 4v3. Wenton is already looking for that frag onto aTTaX, and the smoke is there. Covers him on the cross, and he picks up the headshot onto aTTaX, making it a 3v3 again. Crystal and company still have to plant the bomb, and it is going down in default spot. The CT is crammed in Kazuya, and that was a little ahead of time in my opinion. He didn't have his teammates around to get it with a refrag. Crispy is yet to spot any of the terrorists, and Kiev is desperate to connect to somebody. The terrorists will stay in their positions, and aTTaX has to save. They don't have a defuse kit, so they won't be able to defuse it anyway. Even if they had picked up 2 frags, the defuse would have taken way too long, and they rather save their equipment. So it will be 6-5 and no problem. Started off with a rocky start, but now they get themselves into a good streak. And I wonder why we will have that pause here. No ping problems visible. Let's check the admin channel real quick. No info on the admin channel either, so it should be okay. Seems like a internet hiccup on Glaze's end. The Germans will not hijack that pause and use it for their own good. They will unpause straight away. Sometimes you see people asking for a pause and then the other team doesn't ready up after the team that originally called for the pause is unpausing. And that's, you know, that's what I meant with hijacking the pause. But aTTaX probably were able to use that short period of time to come up with a different strategy, and they use that time, definitely use that time. Crispy gets run boosted up to the cheeky position, and Kiev with the peek into main. So his teammate would probably not be expected if his AWP player held that angle before. But the terrorists are focused on middle anyway, even though they suffered the first loss over there. They still have Wenton in position to pin aTTaX down, and if aTTaX doesn't get any support, it will be impossible for him to get out. Now he does get out though, and the terrorists are left with a man disadvantage and the huge task of finding somebody that is easy to be taken down without losing one of their own players. I think that a fast push would be the best result for No Problem. They used it on A already and they caught aTTaX off guard. They are yet to use a quick B push though, and a quick middle push would be quite successful as well, especially considering the lackluster cover of middle by alternate. Now Keith with the first frag on the A bomb side on that go. Even though Tizian got the first frag in the round, this one was the one to slow the terrorists down. Crispy lets them walk into his crosshair, comes up with a double kill, and Tizian onto Wentin to make it 7-5. So the Germans come back again after some struggle here. 3 rounds in a row. No Problem, already have 5 rounds on the board. That is a quite successful terrorist side if you ask me. And they still have 3 more rounds to go with. Cadian picking up that Tech 9 again, and his teammates with the AKs. Venton is working on Squeaky, and the CTs are still not really covering middle. I mean, they have one player over there, but nobody in Vents or nobody here in CT mid. So Tizian would be left up for grabs if the terrorists executed a good smoke or flash push. At least they could force Tizian to give up his position and then have middle under control to go for a possible A or B split. But No Problem decides to go head first through the wall. They will execute on the A bomb side. Crispy is the guy to change the round. He is about to get into position again, but he doesn't use the forklift yet. Now he spots the barrel of Crystal, who exposes position by that. Good flash work by his teammates as well. Crispy with a double kill. Wentin tries to reply, but he only gets 1 kill. And Glaze is the last man standing for the terrorist. He manages to make it a 1v3, but the CTs are all over the place. Picking up Stefan. Gives him a small opening here. But as he goes to work on the second, Tizian quickly steps out and gets rid of him. 8-5 for the Germans. 18 kills for Tizian, 12 for Glaze, 10 for Wentin. You have to keep in mind that No Problem lost the final of the Nordic Nationals just a few months, well, 2 months ago in Stockholm to Torpedo, a young Swedish squad. But No Problem changed 2 of their players. Holtz and Barry left, and now it's Wentin and Crystal exchanging them. So Tizian with the first counter boost in the round and in the map so far. And Kazuya is at the same time, he's on the outside of A already. He's working his magic over there. Triple kill for him. Cadian and company completely caught off guard by that aggressive setup by aTTaX. Really well done by the Germans, even though Glaze is still standing. I don't fancy his chances at all. But wow, he gets 2 kills there. 27 HP left for him. They know where he is and they already surrounded him, so he shouldn't get away with his life anymore. Kazuya with the quad kill to make it 9-5. And if they make it 10-5, you could consider this a successful half for the CT side. Now my dear Danish friend always puts emphasis on the kind of, well, that, you know, Cache is a map that you can have a lot of terrorist rounds as well if you have the right strategies and if you have the right timing to execute those strategies. Sadly for Crystal and company, it didn't work out so far. In fact, it is slightly terrorist-sided by just a few percentage points. Last round of this half, and Lomi with the first frag, so maybe No Problem can make that Tech 9 push work on the CTs. They are on the B bomb side already, nobody inside. They will have free access on the side. They just have to avoid being taken down on the cross. Crispy eats a lot of bullets. He's slowed down to the max. And Crispy with a triple kill from within the side through the smoke. Kazuya is the last man standing, though, up against 2 terrorists. Cadian and Crystal, they have to plant the bomb at the same time. They have to cover each other. And Cadian with the headshot of the Tech 9. Doing his job when he's needed. He steps it up. 9-6. So No Problem at least get the last round so they have a fighting chance. If they win the pistol, they should be able to get close to a draw or draw the game straight away. While Glaze, I always want to call him Glaive, sorry. While Glaze had some problems at the start of the map, he really picked it up in the middle part. And I can show you that. I just love that those graphs, they are underestimated a lot. You can see that he had a very, very rough start, but then he started picking up frags really quickly, and that allowed his team to get those rounds here. From 3 to 6, that's a triple kill, and that manages to get no problem back on track. Now, they have to win the pistol though, and the alternate is already on the doorstep to the B-bomb site. Lomi will be the first guy to face off against him. He goes down to Tizian's headshot. Glaze is the last man standing here on the site. He goes down to Kiev, and Kaden is able to reply to keep it in a 3v3 fashion, even though Kazuya with a headshot makes it go back to a man advantage for aTTaX. Crystal has a good angle here. He comes in from behind. He will be covered by Crispy. And now his position is compromised. He's working as well as he can, but only some points of damage dealt into Crispy. Not enough so far, and Kazuya has Heaven covered as well as Crispy, who closes out Crystal in the vents to win the pistol round for aTTaX. 10 to 6 now for the Germans, and no problem. Have to save at least one more round. Or they will go for a forced buy and they will have to save at least one more round after this one. So it's definitely, I mean, they have a chance of upsetting the terrorists here with those upgraded pistols. But in my opinion, I mean, my regular viewers already know that I'm quite conservative and I like to keep my money under control, and that means saving a lot and maybe not necessarily going for armor in this round and just saving for the upcoming round and, you know, giving yourself a fighting chance and a better fighting chance in the first rifle round by having more equipment. Doesn't matter for now, no problem. Chose to go for the deal and the 5.7s and 2 P250s as well. And Cadian makes it happen as well. Tizian with a desperately needed refrag. That would be awkward if he had gone down too. But the CTs know where the terrorists are coming from and they prepare themselves. Tizian with it. Wow. I mean, there are no words to describe his performance today. Another triple kill and 2 very quick headshots. Venton and Crystal, the last man alive here. They will back away, and that's because they bought the armor. It's quite expensive for the CTs, so they wanna save that. And Cadian is asking for the admin. Let's see if he replies anytime soon. In the meantime, no problem. Wants to save whatever they have, and the terrorists will not contest that save either. Terrorists win. I hope it's not a serious problem here. Glaze had those lags earlier, and I don't know if he managed to get rid of them. His ping seems to be fine at least. So, there he is. Now Bad timing, I guess. Let's see. No problem, have to save anyway, so I think this round will not be too important. So Tizian and Crispy with the opening frags. Two terrorists are still working their backs off against... Yeah, there he goes. Against Lommy it was, I believe. And Crispy with the UMP working his way into the CT spawn. He goes down to Crystal though. At least some damage dealt by the CTs. Crystal might pick up another frag. He's got a dangerous weapon. Oh, that was very close. Tizian on 23. And it seems like the issue that No Problem had solved itself. I don't know. I hope it definitely solved itself here. Otherwise it would be still asking for a pause for the admin. Now let's focus on this round though. Stefan and Crispy with a quick middle execution already get rid of two of the CTs. And No Problem are reeling. They're desperate to get control back into mid. Crystal's flashed into mid, but Stefan has him covered. And it's Cadian and Lommy, the last two alive. They need to do some damage. Lommy could have some impact here, but the terrorists are already on his back. Oh, they lined up perfectly for him, but Stefan was so quick on the AK. No chance for Lommy. Cadian is going for the save, that I'm sure of. And No Problem will go down 13-6 on the map pick of aTTaX. No Problem's map pick is does too. And I'm curious to see if Cadian can pick up a few frags here. His AWP will be important. Doesn't matter if it's in the next round or in one of the upcoming rounds. Or overall in this game. He is already tagged. Oh, and Tizian goes through the wall to get the frag. "27 frags already. Glaze and Venton on 18 and 11. Stefan already opening up on main. Cadian and Crystal were pushing out to get a, get a frag over there, pick up a weapon, surprise the CTs, and if there's nobody around, the terrorists, and if there's nobody around, they at least would have gotten some information. Didn't happen though, because we will also get the frag onto Lommy, and it's Glaze alone. Inside check it. It's completely abandoned here. And there goes Tizian with his 29th frag of the map. Now No Problem is running out of rounds. They can't waste any more chances, otherwise the already not so successful terrorist side will turn into an even less successful CT side. Cadian is doing a good job of opening up onto Kiev and finally gives his team a glimmer of hope. A slither and a glimmer of hope for No Problem here. Ah, he just barely missed that frag, but goes for the second now. Burns alive to Kazuya, and the terrorists are still in this round. They Molotov away onto Vents and slow down that retake. It could have been possible. Venton has to stay away some more seconds. Then another Molotov goes the way of Heaven. There is still some smoke. Alternate did a good job of delaying the CT's push, putting the bomb down, and now they got themselves into the crossfire. Oh, Stefan, one bullet onto Venton. That's all he needs. Crispy is in Vent, or at Checkered. more or less. He gets a frag onto Lomi. Crystal running for the round. He's getting the headshot onto Crispy. Now he's got the nade. It will not blow Stefan to smithereens. He's got another nade to work with. He goes for the defuse already. Stefan spots him and gets the headshot. Another nade could have made the round go the other way, but Crystal decided to go for the defuse and didn't toss the HE onto Stefan. 15-6, aTTaX with 9 map points. Keith gets boosted up into middle. Very crucial point of the map. He gets taken out by Ventin. Great reactions. Ventin with a second, making it a 4v3 already. Kazuya and company need to slow down a notch. They have to equalize the player count before they can make a move. aTTaX has captured middle, but there's not too much that they can do with it. At least not yet. They're looking for another open frag. aTTaX going down to Glaze, but Kazuya picks up the refrag, and they are on the way to B. Nobody inside anymore, so they think Lomi was inside. And Lomi picked up the crucial frag onto Crispy, while Ventin stepped it up again and got another frag. So no problem, win the first round on the CT side. It took them longer than it took their counterparts, obviously. And it took them longer to get the first round on the CT side than it took them getting the first round on the terrorist side. So the signs all point towards aTTaX. Still 8 map points for them. Cadian and Ventin start off with a very, very good crossfire in middle, covering each other, making it a 5v3. aTTaX is already low as well, so the CTs have a good opening here. aTTaX going for the reload while he was flashed. He couldn't use his gun anyway. And Cadian got the frag. Crispy with the refrag. But it's still a 2-man advantage for the CTs, with Glaze in a very good position, spotting Crispy from behind, leaving Kazuya in CTs in terror spawn with a bomb on his back. But the CTs could guess where he is going to come from. He picks up the first headshot onto Glaze. And he's not going for B, he just faked the death cam. He got the frag over here, so the CT would have seen him go here, but then he turned around and goes for the A rotation. Kazuya with 52 HP against the 2 CTs now. He picked up another frag, made it a 1v2. Ventin is down to 18. This is still possible for him to clutch. He just needs to pick up that frag, but he turns the wrong corner at the wrong moment, and Lomi has him covered. 15-8 for aTTaX. But no problem, win 2 back-to-back rounds, and they are slowly but surely getting that money, as well as getting some more confidence back. Keith is back on the AWP. Terrorists have saved up enough money, or had saved up enough money, while Lomi is pushing his teammate Glaze into the vents. So 2 players at B, maybe not the best positions, especially now that Lomi is completely smoked off from the B-bomb side. The CTs have to focus on the retake already. Glaze trading 1-for-1 with Keith, and it's a 4v4 again. aTTaX is guarding the bomb planter. There he goes with a headshot onto Ventin, a second one onto Cadian. He's looking at heaven, but nobody coming from heaven. Crystal is the last man alive. He's in CT spawn. He's coming in from the B-bomb, or to the B-bomb side from there. And they know where he's coming from. He runs through them flames, tries to surprise them, but he can't. It is going to be 16-8 for Alternate, with 32 frags for aTTaX. What a great performance by him in this matchup. Getting so many important frags. So many triple kills as well. And completely breaking the mentality of no problem. But the map pick of no problem is coming up, so please stay tuned for the second map of the best of 3 series. My name is Dabu. You can follow me on Twitter and everywhere else. The links are going to be shown in a second. So thank you guys for tuning in. Stay around for some more action in the 99 Damage Masters for $20,000 up for grabs in the finals.